Good evening, everyone. I'm John Walls, and welcome to PM Magazine. You know, anymore these days, there aren't too many things around that we can use that are homemade. Except this airplane. It's one of them. It was put together by Gene Darst right here in the Golden Triangle. Now, he's a member of the Experimental Aircraft Association. And tonight, we're going to be taking a look at what the local chapter's doing as far as building planes in its backyard. But first, here's Leeza with more about tonight's program.
Thanks, John, and hi, everyone. I'm Leeza Gibbons, and I'm at the Jefferson County Airport here at the helipads. And tonight, we're going to take you to a place where they also have lots of helicopters, but certainly not like any of these that you see. We're going to take you behind the scenes of TV's MASH and meet the talented actress from that show, Loretta Swit. And in our department chef tale tells you how you can keep your vegetables crisp longer in the refrigerator. Dr. Jim Wasco discusses eating binges. And Sharisa Christopher has found a place in Beaumont where the whole family can play and exercise. Right now, let's go back to John.
There's a special thrill to flying that defies description. One senses a power over the earth. Problems and cares are distant, and the landscape, a patchwork quilt of greenery and man's own creation. Taking to the air can be a proud moment for some people, a crowning time of achievement. Gene Darst is one of those persons. His craft is nimble, its reflexes finely attuned to the air, and Gene built it all himself, from nose to tail.
I can pull up beside a 182 Cessna or a 210 Cessna, and sometimes they wonder what's going on, because generally I can just fly right on by them, and it makes them feel kind of funny with 300 horsepower against 100, and I just have a lot of fun with it. And consequently, everybody has got an admiration for it. The airplane is real quick in flying it. It's real fast on the controls, and all you got to do is think up and down. You're going up and down. Or think sideways, and you're going sideways in it. So really, it's an art to it. But after you get used to it, it's nothing handling it. Just keep ahead of your airplane.
Gene is a member of the local chapter of the Experimental Aircraft Association. He and about 50 other fellows get together once a month to talk about what's up in aviation. Conversation usually centers around backyards and garages, because that's where group members are constructing their dream machines.
Well, it's not tough, but you have to be real careful, of course, plan everything out and do a lot of test drilling and test gluing and so forth. In other words, when you put it together, you want to make sure you're going together right, because actually it's your body and soul up there, and you only hit the ground once generally, and that's fatal.
Gene finished building his plane a number of years ago, but other members are just now getting clearance for liftoff on theirs. W.A. Womack is in the early stages of his craft. It can be a time-consuming process. Some planes take as long as 5 years to put together, and at times require a two-man operation. Glenn Harris's plane is in a more sophisticated mode of experimental aircraft. He's worked on it for over 4 years, but has lately run into a holding pattern over a drive shaft. Once that's completed, though, it's on to the wild blue yonder. And according to Glenn, a carefree love affair with his plane.
Some home-built airplanes, of course, have problems, but by far the greater percentage of them are much finer-built airplanes that don't come out of any factory.
And they're much less expensive as well. Glenn's plane will cost around $7,000 once completed. On the open market, it could sell for as much as $18,000. So the initial investment is substantial, but it isn't keeping some members from becoming two-car, one-plane families. This is Tom Fontenot's pride and joy. He's the president of the local chapter. For Tom, the skills necessary to build a plane didn't come easy, but knowledge of welding and soldering is essential to the type of machine he wants to put together. Tom learned how to weld just about a year ago, and because the framework of the plane is so important, his work on the ground has a direct effect on his safety in the air.
Yeah, I think about it. You're darn right. Sometimes, in fact, I've gotten myself kind of shook up. I'd be doing something, I'd go to thinking about how important it was, you know, and I'd get a little rattled, you know, and I'd just put it down, go drink a cup of coffee and relax, you know, and come back and get back on it. I just want to be sure I didn't make a mistake.
I bet you can't wait to get up in the air.
No, I can't, man. I daydream a lot of times about taking off in it and how it would be like. Since I finished my seat up a little bit there, I sit up in there sometime, do a little hanger flying, you know, or garage flying, or whatever you want to call it.
It may be years before Tom and the others pilot their planes, but for now, Gene Darst's dream of flying in a homemade craft is reality. His is a special plane. At the annual fly-in of all the members of the EAA, his has won top honors twice as the best all-wood plane. And altogether, he's collected about 30 awards for his work. The newer ones.
Well, I'm proud of it, and it's a safe airplane. It's a forgiving airplane, and of course it's complicated. Actually, I'd say it's not a first-time builder's airplane. There again, I tackled it, and it was just more time consumed, but there are simpler airplanes to build, and some of them are more sophisticated.
If I'm going up in it, it better be a safe airplane.
Well, I can guarantee you, well, we'll let you make some comments after you get back on that. In fact, you're going to fly the airplane, John. After we get it up there, I'm going to let you fly it. I won't let you get in trouble, though.
All right. In fact, Gene was lucky to get me in the plane, much less in control of it. There was something about the thought of being a passenger in a homemade plane that made looking at it on the ground a lot nicer. But with Gene's assurances and a few written words of warning, I was soon ready to earn my wings. Unfortunately, they didn't come without a few scares that left me with a terminal case of sweaty palms and an unending love for the ground.
Come fly with me, let's fly, let's fly. Pack up, let's fly away.
Now, that was some shaky flight, but Gene and all the other members of the local chapter here tell me that they're getting ready for the fly-in already, which is in the first week of August this summer. Well, stay tuned. Departments are coming right up.
It's time now for our PM Magazine departments, and tonight on our home department, Chef Tel has some tips for you on how you can keep your raw vegetables crisper and fresher longer in the refrigerator. In our Self department, Dr. Jim Wasco is talking about eating binges and diet disorders. And in our Discovery department, Teresa Christopher has found a place in Beaumont where the entire family can play.